In the ancient land of India, many years ago, a special child was born. His name was Siddhartha Gautama. He was a prince, born in a beautiful place called Lumbini. Wise people saw signs that he would be a great man, perhaps a powerful king, or perhaps a great spiritual teacher. His father, King Suddhodana, loved him very much. He wanted his son to be a mighty ruler. So he surrounded Siddhartha with every kind of pleasure. The young prince lived in a magnificent palace. He never saw any sorrow or hardship. His world was one of joy, music, and beauty. He was a thoughtful child, often quiet, showing early signs of a kind heart. Siddhartha grew up shielded from the world's realities. His father made sure no sign of suffering entered the palace gates. The gardens were always in bloom, the music always sweet. Young attendants served him, their faces always cheerful. The king hoped that if Siddhartha only knew happiness, he would want to stay. He would grow up to inherit the kingdom and be a strong leader. The high walls of the palace kept the outside world hidden. For many years, the prince knew only luxury and ease. He did not know about old age, sickness, or death. His life was like a perfect, undisturbed dream. One day, Prince Siddhartha wished to see the world outside. He asked his charioteer Channa to take him. On this journey, he saw something new and shocking. He saw an old man, his body bent and weak. The man walked slowly, leaning on a stick. His hair was white and his skin was wrinkled. Siddhartha had never seen such a sight before. He asked Channa, "What has happened to this man? Why is he like this?" Channa explained that this was old age. It is a natural part of life and it comes to everyone. The prince became very quiet. His heart was deeply troubled by this truth. On later journeys outside the palace, Siddhartha saw more things. These sights disturbed him even more deeply. He saw a person who was very sick, lying by the road. The person was moaning in pain, their body weak. The prince felt their suffering in his own heart. Then he saw people carrying a still body. It was a person who had died. Channa explained that death too comes to everyone. No one can escape it. These experiences, called the four sights, shattered Siddhartha's peaceful world. He began to wonder deeply about life. If everyone must suffer old age, sickness, and death, what was the meaning of all the pleasure in his palace? The fourth sight that Prince Siddhartha encountered was different. He saw a calm man with a shaved head, wearing simple robes. This man was an ascetic, a spiritual seeker. He had renounced the world to find the truth. His face was peaceful, serene. He seemed untroubled by the sorrows of the world. Siddhartha looked at him and felt a sense of hope. Perhaps there was a way to understand suffering. Perhaps there was a way to overcome it. The image of the peaceful ascetic stayed with him. The desire to find answers, to find freedom from suffering for himself and all beings, grew very strong in his heart. He knew he could not remain in the palace. One night, the prince made a very difficult decision. He looked at his beautiful wife, Yashodhara, sleeping peacefully. He saw his newborn son Rahula, small and innocent. His heart was full of love for them, but his heart was also filled with a great compassion for all beings. He knew he must leave to find the path to end all suffering. Quietly, he left the palace with his loyal charioteer, Channa, and his horse Kanthaka. At the edge of the forest, he took off his royal robes. He cut his long, princely hair with his sword. This was a symbol of his renunciation of worldly life. He was now a homeless wanderer, seeking truth. Siddhartha began his search for teachers. He heard of wise sages and went to learn from them. He studied with Alara Kalama, a master of meditation. He quickly learned all that Alara Kalama could teach. He reached high states of concentration, but he felt this was not the final answer. The root of suffering was still not clear. So he moved on and found another teacher, Uddaka Ramaputta. Again, he mastered the teachings quickly. He attained even higher states of meditation. Yet he knew that true liberation, the end of all suffering, was still beyond his grasp. His dedicated search continued with great earnestness. He then met 5 ascetics who practiced extreme self-denial. They believed that by punishing the body, they could purify the mind. Siddhartha joined them. He practiced severe austerities for 6 long years. He ate very little food, sometimes only a single grain of rice a day. He slept on a bed of thorns. He exposed his body to extreme heat and cold. His strong body became incredibly thin and weak. He was like a skeleton. He pushed himself to the very limits of human endurance. But enlightenment did not come. He realized that torturing his body was not the way. It only clouded his mind and weakened his spirit. Siddhartha remembered a moment from his childhood. He had been sitting under a cool rose apple tree. He had naturally entered a state of deep, joyful meditation. He realized then that the path to enlightenment was not through extreme self-torture, nor was it through indulgence in worldly pleasures like his life in the palace. The true path was a middle way, a path of balance. It meant nourishing the body so the mind could be strong. It meant cultivating a calm and clear mind. This insight was a crucial turning point. He decided to abandon the harsh ascetic practices. His 5 companions were disappointed and left him. He walked to a nearby river, the Niranjana. He bathed to refresh his weakened body. A kind village girl named Sujata saw him. She thought he was a tree spirit. She offered him a bowl of milk rice. He accepted it gratefully. This food gave him much-needed strength. With renewed determination, he walked to a place called Bodh Gaya. There he found a large pipal tree. He made a seat of grass beneath it. He sat down facing east. He made a powerful vow. He would not rise from that spot until he had found full enlightenment. He would not move, even if his body withered away. As Siddhartha sat in deep meditation, he faced many inner challenges. These challenges are sometimes described as Mara, the tempter. Mara represented all the forces that bind us to suffering. Mara tried to distract Siddhartha with visions of beautiful women. He tried to fill his mind with desires and attachments. He sent armies of fear and doubt to frighten him. He tried to make Siddhartha question his quest, but Siddhartha remained firm, like a mountain. He touched the earth with his hand. He called the earth itself to witness his long journey of seeking. The earth seemed to respond, affirming his right to seek enlightenment for the good of all. Through the long night, Siddhartha continued his meditation. His mind became clearer and clearer. He gained deep insights. He saw his many past lives. He understood the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, called samsara. He saw how actions, or karma, create future experiences. He understood the interconnectedness of all things. He saw how ignorance and craving lead to suffering. Then, as the morning star rose in the sky just before dawn, full understanding came. He saw the ultimate truth. He understood the cause of suffering and the path to its complete end. In that moment, Siddhartha Gautama became the Buddha, the awakened one. He was free. After his enlightenment, the Buddha, the awakened one, wondered if others could understand this profound truth. He decided to share his discovery. He walked to the deer park in Sarnath, near Varanasi. There he found his 5 former ascetic companions. He gave his first teaching, which is called Turning the Wheel of Dharma. He taught them the 4 noble truths. The first truth is that life includes suffering, or dukkha. The second is that suffering has a cause, craving and ignorance, or samudaya. The third is that there is an end to suffering, called nirodha. The fourth is that there is a path to end suffering, known as magga. This path is the Noble Eightfold Path. The Buddha's teachings are rooted in wisdom and compassion. He taught the importance of kindness, or metta, towards every living being. He emphasized compassion, or karuna, feeling the suffering of others as our own. He taught the value of truthfulness, or sakha, in our thoughts, words, and actions. He taught non-violence, or ahimsa, not harming any creature. His teachings were not based on blind faith. They were based on direct experience and understanding. He encouraged everyone to investigate the truth for themselves. He invited people to come and see, or ehipasiko. His path was practical and open to all. The Buddha established a community of practitioners called the Sangha. This community included monks and nuns who dedicated their lives to the path. Lay followers, men and women living in the world, also became part of the Sangha. They supported the monastic community and practiced the teachings in their daily lives. For 45 years, the Buddha walked across northern India. He taught people from all walks of life. He taught kings and farmers, merchants and outcasts. He taught with great patience, clarity and love. His teachings spread far and wide, bringing peace and understanding to countless people. Today, the Buddha's teachings are more relevant than ever. We live in a world filled with stress, anxiety, and conflict. Many people search for meaning and inner peace. The Buddha's path offers practical ways to understand our own minds. It teaches us how to cultivate mindfulness and awareness. By practicing loving kindness, compassion, and wisdom, we can reduce our own suffering. We can also help reduce the suffering in the world around us. The message of the Buddha is a message of hope. It shows us that true happiness and freedom are possible for everyone. We can all awaken to our own peaceful nature.